Hey, boos. Good morning. Come talk to me. Good morning, everybody. We talking about love languages today. Come on in here. Know me. Good morning. Good morning. If you know me. Hey, y'all. Good morning. Come on in here. Look, yo, every time I say come on in here, my chicken gizzard wave in the air, right? Hey, y'all. Good morning. Y'all know I got my music on, right? Hey, boos. Hey, y'all. Come talk to me. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Heart me up or whatever. Hey, y'all. Good morning. I am not married yet. Because she is definitely wifey material. Good morning. Hey. We talking about love languages today. Heart me up or whatever. Hey, boos. Hey, Rita. Hey, everybody. Thanks for coming in here to hang out with me. I'm going to jump right into the good stuff, right? Because y'all came on in here. Hey, everybody. Hey, Mr. Davis. Hey, Sharita, my love. We got Glow in the house. Hey, Mr. John Smith. We got Razan. Hey, y'all. We got the artist up in here. Good morning. Hey, everybody. Everybody want to know if I'm married or single today. She's single. She's single. She is single. She is not married yet. She's definitely wifey material, though. So today we're talking about love languages. So let's jump into it, right? So everybody must got relationships on their mind because they coming in here with the, is you taking, boo? Hey, y'all. Thank you, Mr. Knight. McKnight. I said it wrong. Hey. Hey, Mr. Banks. Johnny Banks up in the house. Hey, you guys. Okay, so good morning, everybody. Good morning. Thanks for coming to hang out with me. I appreciate it. Hey, Bills. Good morning. Single and ready to mingle. Somebody said. I don't know. I done turned into hey. I don't see you yet, but I know your face, Mr. Davis. LaMarcus, I see you now. Hey. Hey, Detroit Red. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. So, yeah, she is single, right? I don't know if I'm ready to mingle yet. I don't know. Quarantine done made me a homebody. I'm kind of like a little bit okay with it. She just trying to stack her money, you know? Because the thing is this, like, in relationships, hi, boo! I got my TD bomb in the house. Hey, T. Thanks for the coming and hang out with me. So the room is full, so she gonna jump right into it, right? So today we talking about relationships. We talking about love languages, the 5 love languages. I just wanted to remind you guys that Black love prospers, right? So I got my Black love prospers shirt on today because Black love definitely does prosper. I come on here every morning because I just want to be a light, right? I want to be a light in the dark, and I just want to help people that have gone through some of the bullshit that I've gone through, right? I have a mental health background, so I study people and why they do the things that they do, why people have certain attachment styles, how certain things that happen in your childhood affect you as an adult, all that shit. So I bring that into the mix. I am a spiritually awakened soul. I am a newly awakened soul. So I bring in a very high level of spirituality into anything that it is that I am talking about. I'm a very free spirit. I don't think that we should be bound by societal norms. I don't feel like we should be bound by gender roles and certain, like, getting caught into certain mindsets that relationships should go a certain way, or people should act a certain... Well, I kind of do feel like people should act a certain way in relationships, because I feel like there is a divine feminine energy and there is a divine masculine energy. And I feel like when we are in our relationships, hey, Mr. Kenneth, I feel like in our relationships, we should strive to operate in that divine feminine energy. And energies are not male or female, but they describe them in that term to kind of give them like the traits of what that particular energy should display. So in your relationships, you want to have a perfect yin and yang, right? You want the black, you want the dark and the light. And you want those two to balance each other out. And that's how you come up with the yin and the yang. So the feminine energy represents the yang, and the masculine energy represents the yin. So when you come together in relationships, a lot of times the reason why we're having so much trouble is because we're actually really struggling with finding that balance, that yin and that yang, that divine masculine energy and that divine feminine energy. And being divine, it does definitely require a level of letting your ego go, right? So when we allow our... Hey, mister! We got Dr. Taylor in the house. Pastor Taylor is in the house. Hey, y'all. Hey, everybody. Good morning. I got my boo in here. Hey, Janae. Hey, Jackson. So we're talking about relationships today. We are talking about the 5 love languages. I was talking about how relationships, sometimes we struggle in our relationships because we are struggling to find that balance between our divine masculine energy and our divine feminine energy. And to become divine, one of the biggest things is that it's an ego death, right? Our ego protects us. Our ego protects us, and our ego is all about feeling good and protecting us from harm and protecting us from pain. Hey, Danae, why I got my niecey boo in the room. Hey, boo. So a lot of times our ego goes after things that are very 3D in nature, meaning that they're not tied to anything spiritual. So 3D things are materialistic things like money, cars, houses, things like that. Those are very 3D things. Why? Because they do not get you into heaven, right? What gets you into heaven? Your spirituality, your divinity, your relationship with your higher power, whatever that is, whoever you identify that as. Because I believe that we are all striving to do better, and we are all striving to please a higher power, right? And in reality, we fight over religion and who's right and who's wrong and what rules should be and things like that. But the reality is, I feel as if we're all striving to get to the same God, right? The creator of the universe, right? So, yeah. So whenever you are becoming more divine, you are tapping into your more spiritual side, right? Your spiritual side is concerned about things like your mission in life. Your spiritual side is concerned about things like love and loving unconditionally, right? Because as we become more like God, we become more loving, we become more kind, we operate in generosity, and we operate in gratitude and things of that nature, right? And how many of us can say that if more of us operated out of those things, it would be a lot less killing in the world, it would be a lot less people jealous of each other. We would just live in a better world, right? So that's why I am here, because I have given time to tapping into those spiritual things and my spiritual side, and balancing my 3D self with my 5D self. My 5D self is more spiritual in nature. She's gifted. She's my intuitive side, my intuitive self. All of those spiritual gifts that God has given you, that's your 5D, right? Because it's spiritual. And your 3D is what you see in your everyday world, your job, your house, your car, and things like that, right? So we are all striving to find that perfect balance between our spiritual selves and our natural selves, right? Or some people would say the light and the dark, because we're always fighting against the light and the dark. And some people would say the dark side is winning. But ultimately what we're striving for is balance, right? Balance between the two. So anyway, I said all that to say we're talking about love languages today. So the importance of love languages is creating harmony and balance in our relationship. So I had a very profound conversation with a person that means a lot to me, and we were talking about love yesterday. And what people fail to realize is that we all receive love and we all give love in a different way, right? And sometimes the way we give and receive love is what causes those rifts in our relationships, because we're not communicating effectively, right? Communication goes beyond just talking and expressing. Communication can be silent. You know what I mean? Like all communication is not spoken outwardly, right? So a lot of times those love languages, right? Love, the language of love, that is what is going on whenever you're in your relationships, right? So those things are unspoken, right? So I read a book by a man named Gary Chapman years and years and years and years and years ago. And it's called The 5 Love Languages. And in the book, it explains that there are 5 different ways that we give love and receive love. So one of the love languages is acts of service. So that means that you are a person who you really appreciate people being thoughtful. The things that people do. And it's not necessarily monetarily. It's just like the thoughtfulness of that person committing that act, whether it's something as small as, oh, you held the door open for me, oh, you remembered this, or you remembered that. So that's acts of service. So those of us who have an acts of service love language, typically the way that we receive love is by action. So we are people that feel like actions speak louder than words. So we're looking at your actions. We're looking for the things that you are doing that express love, right? So we need to see it more than we hear it, right? And then a lot of times when that is your love language, that's also how you give love. So you're a very thoughtful person. You're very in tune with your relationships. You're a doer, basically. You're a doer, right? So that's acts of service love language. So then you have quality time, quality conversation, physical touch, and giving of gifts. So some people feel as if the way to feel loved, if you want them to feel loved, you need to give them gifts, right? And then you have some people that if you need them to feel love, you want them to feel love, you need to spend quality time with them, a lot of time with them, a lot of talking, quality conversation. You have other people, physical touch. Now, a lot of men will say, oh, that's my love language. But no, some people, like literally like that physical touch, like you need to feel that person, touch that person. That is how you feel love. So you need your partner to touch you. You need them to be affectionate. You need them around. You need them close to you, right? So that's a physical touch love language. And then you have, what else did I say? Gifts, right? Acts of service, right? Quality time and conversation. Acts of service. I think that's it. So, let's talk about languages, right? So, if I speak Spanish and I jump on the lab and I'm or whatever, right? I'm talking Spanish. Are y'all gonna be able to understand me? Not if you don't speak Spanish, right? So, it's the same thing in our relationship. So if I jump into the relationship and you speak French and I speak Creole or something crazy like that, if we're trying to communicate with each other, are we going to be able to understand each other? No. Why? Because we're speaking 2 different languages. So it's very important for, like, these are the things that we should be talking about, like, in the dating phase. You know what I mean? Like, while we drinking some wine or smoking or eating or whatever it is that you do with your partner, like, have these conversations. Like, you want to talk about this stuff. Like, it should be lighthearted. It should be fun. But that's how you get to know your partner, right? That's how you get to know your partner. And love is a choice. The book says that love is a choice. And I read this book, like, guys, I was in Pittsburgh. So this was like 2003. but it's changed my life, right? Because I was married to somebody that was, oh my God, how can I forget, guys? The other one, look at my lip gloss. The other one is, words of affirmation. Kiki! Kiki, do you love me? Hi, Niecy. Are you riding? So you never ever leave me? So, yeah, you guys. So, words of affirmation. That is the other one. Words of affirmation is really big, right? So, I was married to somebody who their love language was words of affirmation, right? My love language was, discuss that shit first. That's what Glow said. My love language was acts of service. And the way that you know what your love language is you want to ask yourself, like, you want to think and you want to take a moment and you want to say, like, what things does my girl do, or like what things do my guy do, hey boo, that make me feel loved. And normally, like, the first things that you think of, so you may say, man, I love it when they tell me da 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 da, or I love it when they say ba 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 ba, right? So if that's the case, then they're probably a words of affirmation person. Meaning, like, they like words, they need to hear it. You need to be able to express to them your love for them, right? So they don't want you running around doing a bunch of stuff. They want you to tell them, right? And they want you to tell them, and they might not want you to do nothing, right? They just may need you to tell them, right? And then the people that need you to do stuff, they may not need you to tell them. They just need you to do stuff. Like, wash my car, like, vacuum out my car, like, put gas in my car. Like, acts of service people are, like, really, oh, man, they really are, they're big. Like, they're big on, like, people that are thoughtful. You know what I mean? Like, people that are physical touch. Like, they're big on affectionate people. But guess what? Sometimes you get in a relationship with a person who may have an attachment style that they don't like all that. I can't deal with all that fuzzy stuff. Like, hug me and then, get away from me, right? Imagine. So can you imagine the distress when you fall in love with this person? Because you do like them. They have a good personality. And, like, it may be things about their life or their social class status or things like that that would make you guys a good match in a relationship, right? And then you get in a relationship with this person, and guess what? Oh my God, your love language is physical touch. And you done got with this girl who, like, she don't like all that. She like, give me my space. Like, why you all up on me on the couch? Like, give me my space, right? So that is distressing. I know, Luna, right? Luna in the house. We got Luna on the mic. So how distressing is that, right? Like, how much, like, strife is it going to cause? So basically, in a nutshell, we have to understand that we love differently. And when you're in a relationship, you choose. You choose to love. Love is a choice. Love is an action word. Love is not like some warm and fuzzy, far away thing that's a fantasy or is fake. Love is very real, right? And love requires us to be intentional, right? It's not hard. We just got to pay attention. We got to pay attention, and we got to be flexible, and we got to be willing to love people the way that they need to be loved, right? So, like, if you're physical touch, I can tell you all day how great you are. That doesn't mean anything. I got to touch you, right? And, like, if you need acts of service, like, dude, like, I know you told me you love me, like, every day, but, like, my man, like, you're still sitting on the couch and we have bills that need to be paid. Like, I need your help, right? I need you to do something. So imagine if they just sitting up there telling you, oh, baby, I love you all day, right? Sending you text messages and shit, using words of affirmation and shit, like, gassing you up. But your thing is like, nah, you can't tell me you love me if you don't, right? So I was having an issue with somebody, and I'm like, yo, you can't tell me you love me, but then ignore this, because that doesn't speak love to me, right? So So basically what I'm saying, and I'm going to wrap it up for you guys, is basically like we have to find out what language it is. And this goes for all our relationships, family relationships, romantic relationships. We have to find out what is the language of love that we should be speaking to this person, right? And then we got to quit being so stubborn. We got to quit being so stubborn and so stuck in our ways and thinking like, no, this is the only way it has to go. But yet, all of us out here are really looking for love, and we are all looking to be in a relationship that's harmonious and peaceful. So why are we dragging all of our nasty, yucky baggage into our relationships? Why are we getting in relationships with people that tell us what it is that what they want, and then we do something the opposite? Or on the flip side, we get in a relationship with people that can't, they can't tell you what they want. You know what I mean? And sometimes being with somebody that has bad communication skills, when you get in your next relationship, like your communication skills are all jacked up because you've been with this person that, you know what I mean, like they had this particular issue. So basically, guys, we have to be, we got to be willing to be flexible, right? We have to be willing to know ourselves enough that we can explain what it is that we need to the people that we care the most about, right? What else? So yeah, you guys, so love languages. So make sure with your partner you are speaking their language of love so that they can feel love. You know what I'm saying? I'm not standing up, Mr. Nichols. This is not, I'm not here to be cute and show off my body and all of that. So, if you catch me on a live where I'm in the kitchen, then you get to see me full view. But today she's sitting at the window and she's talking, and that is what, like that's what I want you to be focused on. And if you're not, that's okay. You can excuse yourself, but some of us want to talk about relationships. And yes, she's attractive, and yes, she knows that she's attractive, right? But at the same time, like let's focus on our focus. And she's here to give a positive message and to help my people, because I feel like we should have more love in the world. It's too much hate in this world. That's why we see our we see our brothers getting shot out in the street like we're animals, like bloodshed. Like our blood should not be scattered and splattered. I could cry just thinking about it, on the street like we're nothing, like we're animals. Like, it's shameless, right? But that's because we live in a world where evil is in operation, dark entities are in operation. But those of us that have a light within us, those of us that have something positive to share, I encourage you to do that, because every little bit counts, right? Every little bit counts. And the more we shine our light, the less darkness we see. And I'm sure we all can agree that, like, it's just a lot of negativity and it's a lot of darkness out here. So, yeah, so that's why she's here. I just want to be a light. But, yeah, let me see what T said. Answer this. I feel like I am attracting the same type of guy. He had some issues with his mom, and he wasn't raised by her. Okay, they have gotten closer as he became a grown man. Good. Do you think I should still, talk to him? Okay, so, alright, so let's start with, I'm attracting the same type of guy. Okay, so two things with that. So number one, is very important for us to have a level of self-awareness, right, of what it is that we're bringing in. So boom, perfect, right? We want to start with self-awareness. Also too, but on the flip side of that, sometimes we're just like, oh my God, like I keep attracting the same guys, and it becomes like a self-fulfilling prophecy, right? So we keep saying, I keep attracting the same guys, and guess what? Law of attraction, we keep attracting the same guys. So we want to take that time to realize what it is that we're looking for, but we don't want to keep saying like, I keep attracting the same women or the same men or things like that. So we want to, first of all, recognize what it is that we are bringing to the table, right? What it is that we want from a relationship as well. So T, my question would be, like, when you think about what it is that you want in a relationship, like, does this person possess those things, or does this person possess a lot of those things? You know what I mean? So that determines, like, do I want to stay in this and give it some time, right? So are they hitting like major points that are really, really important for me? If the answer is yes, then okay, so I'm gonna give this some time, right? Because I have an abundant mindset. So whatever time I spend or whatever time I invest into a situation, I'm going to get something out of it. I'm going to learn a lesson. I'm going to get something. So we're not going into things with like a fear mindset, right? So we don't want to be fearful going into our relationships, fearing that, oh, the same thing that happened to me before is going to have happen to me again. And yes, a lot of people have mommy issues. We all have mommy issues. So how are those mommy issues playing out into the relationship? Does that mean that mom is all up in the business all the time? Or does mommy issues look like, let me see. Mommy issues can look, so let's say, abandonment mommy issues. So abandonment mommy issues would look like, hey, Nephrin. I got my Nephrin in the house. Hey, Mary. Hey, Mr. Pitts. Hey, Mr. Holloway. So mommy issues as it relates to, like, say, abandonment, right? So I've dated a lot of people who may have some type of abandonment issue related to their mom, right? So whether mom wasn't there because she was on drugs, or she had a drug issue, or mom was, whatever the case may be. So that can create abandonment issues, right? So that can create levels of insecurity in a relationship. So what exactly what do mommy issues look like? Because we want to be careful. We want to identify, like, okay, so this is what this person is struggling with. But we don't want to, villainize, like, issues, right? Because we all have issues. We just got to look at them and then figure out, like, okay, so how is this playing out in my adult life, right? And then, like, how I can rectify it. So we are all going into relationships with issues, right? We're all going into relationships with something about our past that shaped us into the person that we are now, right? So don't go into relationships fearful. Like, give everybody a clean slate right from the very beginning. So I'm not fearful that you're going to be like the last person. And I'm not fearful that you're going to hurt me or take something from me. I'm empowered. I know that whatever it is that I need to see about you, I'm going to see those things. Like, you're not going to blindside me with some bullshit. Like, it may be some things that happen, but we got to go into relationships confident, knowing that, hey, whatever time that I spend here is going to be time well invested. Because even if the relationship doesn't work out, I'm still definitely a better person at the end of it. Whether I learned a lesson, I learned a little bit more about a mindset that I was never ever familiar with. Like, we have to look at everything as a positive, right? So if he is hitting those major things that you want to see from a person in a relationship, I would say it is worth exploring, right? All right, so you said some more. I find him clingy. Or maybe it's just how he is and he really likes someone. Okay, so T, I'm cracking up because you sound like the person that's just like, I like you, but give me some space. I don't need all that, dude. Right? Because that's how some people are. Like, my bestie is like that. Even she be like, ugh. And I'm so not like that. I'm very, like, touchy-feely, maybe clingy. I could be clingy. I could be whatever, right? So, like, I could give you your space, or I could be, like, all on your top. Like, whatever. Like, I'm flexible now. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm secure now. So, some guys, they want you to text them all day. They want to hear from you all day. And guess what? Text them all day, boo. Give them what they need. Love them like they need to be loved. And then some guys, they want their space, right? Like, they may want to leave in the morning, and then y'all do what y'all do throughout the day, and then y'all come together in the evening. So, you got to understand, if that's the type of person that you're with, and you could deal with that, then, you rock out like that, right? So I'm, at this point in my life, I could be, like, a little flexible. Like, if you need me to be clingy, I could be clingy. If you need, like, your space, I can give you your space. But I'm more of a, I don't want to say clingy, but, like, connected. Like, you like to be connected to your partner. Like, you don't want to smother them. You don't want them to smother you. You just want to have that great balance. Like, let me miss you in the middle of the day. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, let me know that you're right there. Like, I don't have to worry about what it is that you're doing or anything like that. Like, we're confident. We love each other. We know that when we leave and we go about our way, that, like, you know, we're still going to be good to each other. You know, like, when you're out in the street and you're with your family and your friends and all of that, like, do you, like her say, do you still claim me? Like, am I still your woman? Like, you loving me whenever you away from me? So, yeah. He doesn't want me going out. No, that's too controlling. And I feel that is a part of dating, going out on other dates. But this is the thing, T, that's not their business. So, when you get into a relationship, the thing is, like, a lot of times, like, at the beginning of a relationship, like, who you're dating and all of that is not, it shouldn't be really up for discussion, right? So, if it's not like a committed relationship, then I can still date whoever it is that I want. So if he's clingy and he doesn't want you going out on other dates, like, he's probably, like, insecure. So if we want to put that in the context of mommy issues, then yeah, I want to hold on tight. I'm so empathetic, right? I want to hold on tight to things that I care about. Because if I have abandonment issues, then I feel like everything that I love, I lose, right? And everything that means something to me, like, I lose it. It goes away. So hell yeah! When I see something I want, I'm going to hold on to it. And sometimes that even means holding on to things that are not good for us, you know, but we just, because of what, you know, how we were shaped and because of the things that we've gone through, we hold on tight to it, you know. So that's where our dysfunction comes into play. But you guys, we have to be patient with each other. Like, one thing that I really promote is just loving and being kind to yourself, right? And then loving and being kind to other people. Like, we need to be compassionate and we need to be understanding of people and the things that they have gone through. And that doesn't make us pushovers, and it doesn't make us a fool or anything like that. We have to understand that we possess the power to make good decisions for ourselves, right? So if you get into a situation and it's not working for you, you have the ability to say, hey, this isn't working for me, so I'm going to do what's best for me in this situation. So a lot of times we become resentful because we have to make a decision in a relationship, and we get mad at that person and we say that they did this, and this, and we want to talk about all the things that they did wrong and why we're mad and why we're upset and disappointed and things like that. But really what we have to focus on is, what is it that I'm looking for in a relationship? Is this relationship giving me those things that I'm looking for? And if it's not, I have to love me first, and I have to make a decision that best suits me. So it's less about them and what they didn't do and what they took from you and how you feel about it after and what a horrible person they are. It's about the fact that, like, I love me first, and I have to make the decision that's best for me. And yeah, I may be upset because now I got to walk away from something that I really want, right? But to keep from having so much hurt and bitterness about it, you want to just put yourself in the mindset of, like, okay, I'm doing what's best for me. Like, I know what I want, and this is not what I want, so I have to do what's best for me and try to stay away from this person did this, and this, and they all the things that they weren't. You just want to focus on all the things that you know that you want and desire, and understanding that, and I can have those things. Like, I can go out here and get whatever it is that I want. Like, I can bring whatever it is that I want into me. And I think we have to let go of this fearful mindset that, you know what I mean, that whatever we have now, like, that's it. And what we really want is not out there. That's the thing. We're so fearful that what we really want is not out there, or we don't know what we want. Like, we haven't taken the time to sit down and say, this is what I want from my relationship. So when it shows up, you know that it shows up. So, very, very important. Know what you want from your relationships and what you don't want from your relationships. And that helps a lot. And then even if a person comes into the situation and they're not everything that you want them to be, you know that, like, yeah, but these 5 major things that I definitely gotta have in my relationships, like, this person is that. So the other little stuff, like, we can work on that. I can compromise with that. I can be flexible with that. But it's very important that we know what it is that we want going into the relationship. So that helps. It wasn't up for discussion. He said that to me. I told him I am recently single, just chill. Yeah, so if it's not open for discussion, then it's not open for discussion, and I'm not changing what I'm going to do. So that was very controlling. So yeah, so it's like, I understand if you want me to yourself. Like, who wouldn't want, that particular person all to themselves? Like, who wants to share? Who really wants to share? Nobody. But, you can't control me. Love is not controlling. Like, love is... And I'm sure y'all just new in a relationship, so it's not like y'all talking love and all of that. But, like, yeah, no, dog. Because if we just dating and you, like, trying to put your foot down and tell me, like, what I can't do... No, mama. I don't like controlling. Like, I gotta be free. And I don't mind. And the thing is, we want to be with people that are confident enough to allow us to be who we are in a relationship. People that are confident enough that, like, that they say, like, hey, I may bring this to the relationship and this may need to be worked on. And somebody else may say, well, I'm bringing this into it and I know I need to work on these things. Like, just being patient enough to, like, work through those things. But first and foremost, we have to make sure that we know what it is that we want in our relationships. And I think that would save us a lot of time. Because and then people feel like it's bad to have, like, things that you want. But it's not. If you know that I want a person that has A, B, and C, and this is definitely what I want and need in order to be happy, then I'm not going to walk around and accept somebody that don't have A, B, or C because they're a nice person or I feel obligated in some sense. No, I need A, B, and C. So I'm going to continue to look until I get A, B, and C, And, and definitely being, being really controlling, like, that's like a deal breaker for me. Like, I understand. And the thing is, like, I have somebody that I care about very dearly, and, like, I could tell people that have, like, control issues, right? And I allow people to be who they are if it's not affecting me, right? So it's like we just got to be flexible. We got to be flexible, but we got to know what we want. And if we know what we want and we stay true to what it is that we want, we can't go wrong. You can't go wrong. So let's just be sure and clear about what it is that we want in our relationships, and clear about, our deal breakers. And for me, a deal breaker would be you telling me that I can't date. Yeah, that's too early for that. That's some controlling stuff. We don't want to be controlling. But yeah, you guys. So that is all I got for y'all. She got to go get out here and she got to go Uber. I got to go make my money. Hey. Hey, y'all. Hey. So check it out. I'm going to need y'all to watch the replay. Right? Those of y'all who missed it from the beginning, watch the replay because it is yummy, 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 right? Full of good content. So watch the replay and share the video or whatever. Share the video because we was talking about love languages today and we were talking about relationships, right? So share the video. I love you guys so very much. Let me make sure that nobody else asks me anything else. But yeah, TD Bomb, if it's not open, and I feel like everything should be open for discussion. Even shit you don't, even shit you don't necessarily agree with. Like, you should both sit down and be able to express, like, your side of it. Like, he has to hear you, you have to hear him, and then you come in, you come in the middle and you make that, that compromise. Like, that's like almost like, I think that's almost like a cookie cutter way of, cause see, this is the thing, you guys, like, we about to break down these relationships. Like, we about to make this shit not be so hard. Why? Cause we need to love each other. We need more love. We need more love. We need more love. So we got to work on our relationships, right? So your man could be loving on you and your woman could be loving on you, right? So everybody is love, and everybody is in love, especially us as a people, because we the ones that they out here killing. And I'm not gonna say we the ones out here doing all the killing, but we are killing ourselves. Why? Because we don't love ourselves enough, right? People that could take another person's life. Why? Because they don't respect their life. They don't love their life, right? So I'm here. We about to get these relationships together, y'all, because we need to be loving on each other. Like, we need to be loving on each other. So it starts with us. It starts in the community. So we're going to get these relationships together because we are making relationships so complicated and so hard. And you guys, it's not that complicated and hard. It starts with loving yourself first. So it starts with loving yourself first. That gives you confidence. That gives you that relationship with God and spirit that you need in order to balance your life and make your life stable, right? You start with your relationship with God. You start with your relationship with yourself. You fall in love with yourself. You figure out who it is that you are, because first you got to figure out, who am I? And then once you figure out who you are, then you figure out what it is that you want. And then when you figure out what it is that you want, then you can start calling those things into yourself. And then the things that you don't want, you push them out of your vibration, right? So I'm just here to teach us how to, number one, have a relationship with God. Two, have a relationship with ourselves. Fall in love with ourselves. Figure out what it is that we want from our relationships, whether they're romantic relationships or whether they're family relationships. What do you want from your relationships? You can have them. You can have those things. And then those people who, once you start to identify who you are and what it is that you want, and you can express your needs to those around you, that's when you really start to decide, like, who needs to be in my life and who doesn't. Like, because I can express myself now. I know what it is that I want. And I'm telling you that these are the things that I want and I need. And if you're not able to give me those things, or we're not able to find some type of, hey, Mr. Joe Dukes, or we're not able to find some way to, like, compromise. Like, we got to love ourselves and be confident enough to realize that, like, hey, I can compromise with people that are willing to compromise with me. But the thing is, a lot of times we get in situations with people that don't deserve our compromise and they don't deserve our love, right? So here we are, all of these good people, spending all this time and energy and love, and we're investing it into the wrong places. Why? Because we haven't fell in love with ourselves first. But once we fall in love with ourselves and figure out what it is that you want, and you realize that whatever you want, you can have it because you deserve it, like, that's the beginning of a healthy love journey. I love you too. You're welcome. You know I'm your personal couch booski. So yeah, we're gonna talk more, but you already know how I feel, girl. So yeah, so no self-fulfilling prophecies. We're gonna identify that, like, yeah, this is who I used to choose all the time. But we're gonna make sure that we don't keep saying, I keep attracting the same people. I'm a magnet for this, because law of attraction, as we speak it, we start to manifest it, right? So we want to say, I used to always attract toxic people. I used to always attract narcissistic bitches that lie and cheat and steal your money and all kinds of stuff. Or I used to date guys that were controlling and disrespectful. I used to, right? Because we should all be starting a new life. 2020 sat us down, and a lot of us spiritually awakened, right? So that means we're woke now. So that means we have a new life now. So that means we're looking different, we feeling different, and we're making different choices. And we're making better choices. We're making choices that work for us. And guess what? We're not feeling bad about it. We are not feeling bad about it. So I knew a dude who felt confident enough to give his woman freedom. And down the road, she met another dude who had more money and was more freakier. And she dissed her boyfriend quick, fast, and in a hurry. Okay, so let's talk about it, Mr. Bucket. Okay, so that doesn't, so a lot of times what we do is when things happen, what we do is we tell ourselves like stories in our head. We tell ourselves negative stories subconsciously. We don't realize it. And then we start to respond to those negative stories, and that's how we live out our life. So that's another one of my life's goal, is to help us start to destroy the negative stories that we tell ourselves, because they don't serve us any good, right? They just keep us in a mental prison. So let's talk about it, Mr. Bucket. Okay, so he was confident enough to allow her space. So what we think is, okay, so I made a mistake because I was confident enough to give her space. I shouldn't have gave her space. No, how you want to think of it is, I was confident enough to give her space because I'm a confident, solid, whole person. If she decided to cheat, then she cheated for whatever reason that she cheated. It had nothing to do with me giving her space. Whether I gave her freedom or whether I kept her bound up, whatever she was going to do, she was going to do it. So if he didn't give her freedom, she would have cheated. If he gave her freedom, she would have cheated. So what he wants to remember is, that bitch doesn't make me any less. So because I gave her confidence and she cheated, doesn't mean that the next woman, I don't want to give her confidence. No, I don't want to give her confidence. I'm sorry. I don't want to give her freedom. No, he wants to stand in his power, because being confident is a good thing. And that's what we have to remember. Like, we have to celebrate those things about us and not allow the situation to formulate in our minds who it is that we are or what it is that we should have did. So he shouldn't feel like I did anything wrong. She was wrong because she cheated, and she remains to be wrong, right? So that's what I learned during my self-love journey. I stopped looking and saying, oh, because he chose her, something's wrong with me, or I didn't do something, or I didn't do enough. No, self-love says I am enough. So if I'm enough, he can still choose something different, but that doesn't take away from my enoughness. I am still enough. I am still everything. I'm just not the everything that you wanted, right? So she went and got with somebody that had more money and was freakier. So she wanted somebody that had more money and was freakier from the jump, right? But she decided that she was going to be with somebody, I guess, that fulfilled her until she got to what it is that she wanted. And that wasn't cool, right? But that makes her the toxic person. That makes her the dishonest person. That makes her the person that wasn't really standing in her truth, right? And he still remains. It's probably going to be hard because it's all in how you think of it, right? So if he realizes that, like, hey, whatever choices she made, that was on her. That don't take anything away from me. And the dude may have had more money and the other guy was more freaky, but guess what? He got to be happy about whatever his money is at that time and be like, well, so what? Like, this is what it is. And sexually, this is who I am. So if you choose that you want something different, that's okay. It doesn't take anything away from me. I'm still going to be me. This is still going to be my money. This is still going to be how I do my sex thing or whatever it is. And because you chose something different outside of me, that takes nothing away from me, right? That was the hugest self-love epiphany that I came into. And that actually happened in 2020 during quarantine over COVID. And that was major. That caused a major life change for me because I no longer compared myself to people and thought about all the things that they didn't have. No, all the things that they had that I didn't have, right? Because so imagine like walking away from a relationship like, damn, man, he went and got with her. He went and got with her because, she got this and she got that and I don't have this and I don't have that. So then you get down on yourself. No. Okay. He wanted to be with a bitch that had a bigger house. All right. This is my house. I love my house. This is where I'm at right now in life. Self-acceptance, right? This is where I am in life. And although I miss you, God damn it, motherfucker, you were supposed to pick me! Right? That's how we feel. Let's keep it real, right? She feels all her emotions and she be crying. So I feel all my emotions, but on the flip side of that, I have to say, but I did what was best for me, and I feel empowered about that. You know what I mean? Like, I have to be empowered in the decisions that I make. I have to be empowered in who it is that I am. So regardless to what you do or what decision that you make, it doesn't mean that I'm less than. I'm still enough. And that's what God had to keep reminding me. I'm still enough. Like, Tiffany is going to be who Tiffany is. She can't change, right? And just because somebody chose to be with somebody else, and 9 times out of 10, of course, they're not better than me. They're probably more toxic than me, and they're probably more of a hoe than me, and all of those things. However, if that's what that particular person wants at that time, self-love is unconditional, and it says, do you, boo? Love says, love doesn't hold, right? That's why T gotta break up with her dude. Love don't hold me tight in a straight jacket. Yo, love don't hold me tight in a straight jacket, right? Motherfucking shit. You know what? Some of y'all is in straight jackets and y'all calling it love. You know what? That'll preach. Some of y'all is in a straight jacket and you calling it love, and it ain't, because love is free. And love says, I love you. And love says, I love you enough to let you get whatever it is that's going to make you happy at the time. Right? Oh, well, guess what, Mr. Beckett? He can hear me say it. Send him the video. You're going to share the video. And what's his name? I'm going to shout him out. So, yeah, so send him the video and tell him this was just for him. Because guess what, y'all? Y'all getting this for free now. But, come 2021, she going to be charging for all this good information. But y'all my tribe, so y'all know I'm always going to be here. But, like, yeah, eventually all this yumminess she giving out, she going to be getting paid. Yeah. But, yeah, Mr. Beckett, tell me what his name is. But, you can share the video. You can let them hear it. Also, you guys, speaking of which, my lives are always on my page, right? And then also, T, I love you, boo. I'm about to log out, too. I got to go Uber. Then also, you guys, all my lives are on my YouTube page, right? So, my YouTube page, I'm going to drop the link. Go and subscribe. So, basically, oh, and my booski, shout out to Kay Giles. She put me in the game. So in a minute, I'm going to be able to, I just got to learn the software. So I will go live on all 3 of my platforms, right? So anyway, all my lives are on my YouTube channel. So if I'm ever talking about something, you guys are like, oh my God, like I need cousin Susu to hear about blah, 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 right? They can. You can send them to my, oh, also, I have a Facebook page, Beautiful Dreams Within Distorted Realities, right? All my videos are also on that page. So, if you're not my Facebook friend, or you don't feel like scrolling through my timeline and all my pictures and all my other stuff, you can go to the Beautiful Dreams Within Distorted Realities, right? Because a lot of us, we feel like we are living a beautiful dream, and our relationships feel like, this is a dream. And then you wake up one day and you realize you were in a distorted reality. It wasn't a dream. It was craziness. And you thought you was in love, but you was in a straitjacket. So, yeah, you guys. So, all my videos are in one place. So, whoever needs to see them, hear them. And a lot of times, too, when I save them on YouTube or the beautiful, on the Beautiful Dreams Within Distorted Realities page, I'm going to put the title of, so like if it's a live and it's like a Saturday and I just was like on and drinking wine and like just being silly, then I probably wouldn't put that on my YouTube channel per se, because I'm just, you know, we just kicking it. But my morning lives where I actually come and we're talking about something, like today we were talking about the 5 love languages, those can always be found on my YouTube page, and they can be found on the Beautiful Dreams Within Distorted Realities. And it's not going to have, it's just going to be the videos, and it's going to have the title. That's what I was trying to say. I went all the way around the mulberry bush. It will have the title of whatever it is that we talked about. So today we talked about the 5 love languages, right? And being flexible in our relationships. So the title will be on there or whatever. So you can always find me. So feel free, share the video, rewatch it if you like. And I love you guys. I will see you wonderful, beautiful, amazing, and gifted people on tomorrow. I love you guys so much.